The judge was pretty harsh in his ruling, saying the defendant has tried to manipulate the system and that the money only had to be hidden for a short time before he would leave the country. But he still granted bail. Joining me is HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks with the very latest. Mike, what do you have?
Well, I tell you, Jim, it looks right around 2:50 this afternoon. George Zimmerman walked out of the Seminole County Jail. Now, we saw a white SUV pull up. It was right in a handicap parking right outside the door. And then the door opened up, and out walked a guy in a blue shirt and a guy in a black shirt. And right between them was George Zimmerman. Now, supposedly, Jim, they are going to be taking him to what they're calling a safe house. But we know that it has to be somewhere there in Seminole County because that's one of the conditions of his release. He cannot leave Seminole County, and he also has to check in with pretrial services every 48 hours. But, Jim, people are talking about where's all this money coming from? Just in the last 24 hours, Jim, he has raised $20,000. I think that is unbelievable.
Mike, are they concerned about possible death threats continuing with Zimmerman?
Well, that's why they're going to take him to the safe house, because we have seen, demonstrations, and the country is basically divided into two camps. Those that think George Zimmerman gunned down Trayvon Martin in cold blood, and those that think that he was standing his ground, and this is a case of self-defense. So, yes, I would say that George Zimmerman, is probably in fear of his life, and that's the reason they're going to be taking him to a safe house where no one knows where he's going to be, but it has to be in Seminole County.
Joey Jackson, criminal defense attorney, joining us from New York. How important was it for Zimmerman's attorneys to get him out of custody from the standpoint of putting this case together?
It's important. I mean, you could certainly go and you could meet with your client in any facility, that they're in. But it's important for a couple of reasons. Number one, obviously, he's out. It allows the attorneys an opportunity to meet with him in private at times of their own choosing. Logistical concerns are not as heightened, or there's not that concern because you can meet with your client whenever you'd like to. And then, of course, no one likes to be in jail, right? I mean, obviously, everybody wants their freedom. As to whether he'll remain free, I mean, we'll see, because obviously there'll be this immunity hearing in the event that the attorney chooses to have one after that bail decision the judge made. But I think moving forward, certainly I think his camp is pleased at the fact that he's out, and at $1 million, it certainly came at a price, though, as you said, Jim.